Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saeed. So we're going straight in our program tonight. Close to 2 weeks after 93 police officers wrote to the Police Service Commissioner calling on it to rein in Police Commissioner Erla Haywood Christopher, 122 officers have threatened to sue her over her handling of the promotions of over 800 officers. So Trinidad and Tobago, 122 police officers have threatened to sue her over her handling of their promotion of over 800 officers. Imagine that. So as of today now, 122 officers wants to sue Erla Haywood Christopher. That is the Commissioner of Police. Apparently she's in the news big time. Big time, big time. So what are we going to do now? Erla, what you going to do? About a year now? A couple months? 6 months now? You're in office? And you lackadaisical performance now causing 122 officers to put you in court. First was you couldn't make up a decision on granting 33 individuals their firearm. Now you're going back before the court again. The lawsuit is the latest episode in the ongoing saga over the promotion of 893 police constable to a corporal. In response to the attorneys, Police Service Commission, in response to them, they stated that it will be tabled a discussion on whether to discipline the top cop at the next sitting of its executive schedule for February 8th. So they want to discipline her. Imagine officers now going to discipline the Commissioner of Police, the attorneys. You're getting better and better. Your performance in office for the first 100 days was excellent, as you say. Excellent in not bringing a plan to the table. Now you have citizens of Trinidad and Tobago have you going before the court on making a decision on granting them FUL license. Now we have officers now taking you now. You want to take you to court now to sue you for lack of promotion. Erla, it's getting better and better. Now, so here they say, this comes as 34 police officers were promoted last week after acting DCP Ramnarayan Samaru said at the end of an internal investigation, it was found that 29 officers were promoted erroneously due to a glitch in the process. A glitch. And what kind of glitch was caused? What type of glitch was caused? So Trinidad and Tobago, you're viewing Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saeed, the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. Just a note, remember, I'm a licensed money lender. Those of you looking for cash, it's not a problem. We have 2 officers. We have our full staff. We go from 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. Contact our office. Our numbers will be on screen shortly, viewers. Contact our office, set up an appointment, come in, meet with our staff. You will get all the information you need when you come into our office. And like I said, all you have to do is have collateral. Once you have collateral, it's not a problem. We are going to do business. So remember, viewers, Real Talk Finance and Investment is also opening its branch in Guyana on the first week of February. Yes, it will be an opening. Real Talk Investment, Real Talk Finance will be in Guyana. We are already setting up there. Nevertheless, God is blessing. Our arms are spreading out. So, to top off that now, Yes, they're going to have deals in Guyana also. Now in Trinidad, we offer you 4% on our fixed investment. What do I mean 4%? Now I'm going to tell you something. You have a fixed deposit in a financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago, and you're getting 2%, 2.5%. On every 100,000, 2% is at 2,000. You have 50,000, you're getting 1,000. Now at Real Talk, you could have that same fixed deposit at 4%. On 100,000, instead of getting 2,000, you're getting 4,000. On 50,000, instead of getting 1,000, you're getting 2,000. Imagine that, eh? Imagine that. And the way things going up just now, you will need extra cash. You will need extra cash. And where are you getting it? Right here at Real Talk. So if you have money put on in the bank and you don't know how to invest it, contact Saieed. Remember, I'm a licensed money lender. You could also lend your money and make money, you know. But you don't know how to do it. So viewers, remember, I have been in finance all my life. I know about finance. That's my thing. That is my thing. I grew up knowing how to make money. I grew up in the finance industry. But nevertheless, that is my trade. What is yours? What is yours? So, more back pay delay. Remember when Colin Imbert stood up and said he's going to make sure all public servant gets their money by December? Well, we are approaching the end of January. Who is not getting back pay? Serving members of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service who have yet to receive their back pay, which was promised to them almost 11 months ago, have been told that there are no guarantee they will be paid on or before the end of January this month. This was confirmed by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Social and Welfare Association President Inspector Gideon Dixon, who said it was almost 1 year after they signed off on the government's 4% salary increase, then back pay remains outstanding. He also confirmed that almost 90% of Special Reserve Police Officer, SRPs, officers were paid to date. Dixon said that just about 48% of regular received their back pay and described the matter as untangible position for those officers who have a legitimate expectation. Listen to this.
One is aware that police could have been the second entity to sign off on. As a matter of fact, we signed off Carnival Friday 2023. We signed off Carnival Friday 2023. And we signed off taking into consideration every single thing, and getting the mandate of the membership. So we signed. But you know, at this point in time, almost a year later, or 11 months later, though our SRP contingent would have received, at least 90% of them would have received their back pay, just around 48% of the regulars have received their back pay. And this is an untenable position for those officers who have a legitimate expectation, and also being guided by statements of those public officials who indicated they would have been ready by December of 2023.
Now viewers, listen this. Previously, Finance Minister Colin Imbert said, promise to make payments before Christmas. Well, listen to this.
We have provided $1 billion in back pay for those 37,000 public sector workers who have accepted our offer of a 4% increase plus increase in some allowance. I am also giving today these 37,000 public sector workers an undertaking that all ministries and agencies involved will be provided with the necessary funds to pay this $1 billion in back pay by Christmas of 2023. And I am requesting all permanent secretaries and accounting officers, by way of this budget statement, to immediately start preparing the paperwork to achieve this Christmas deadline for this $1 billion in back pay payment. And they better do it too. They better do it.
All I like that. I told you that don't look forward, you know. I told you all that don't look forward. Promise and promise and promise, and they keep going in our circle. But we are going to learn. Critical of promises by public officials that all officers would have been paid by the end of 2023. Dixon said they were only informed of the delay 24 hours prior to Police Commissioner Earl Haywood Christopher had made additional efforts to have the matter resolved. He added that handwritten checks will be presented to some officers, but based on the number that remains, he does not see it being possible that all officers will receive their back pay by January 31st. Listen to this.
But from where we sit here, the mandate, the deadline given of the 31st of December will be challenging at best for our finance branch and auditing section to be able to meet. I know they are working feverishly around the clock. We left there after close to 9 o'clock last night, and there were officers and personnel there operating with a view of putting or ensuring manual checks are given to those remaining officers. But based on the numbers that remain, we are not seeing it being possible that all officers will receive their back pay by the 31st of January. That in itself, it is not healthy going into the carnival period. Thank you very much.
Now Trinidad and Tobago. Dixon said he understood the frustration being experienced by the officers, adding, this is not being experienced by the officers. Imagine. It's sad, you know. You gotta experience this. This is now being experienced by the officers. After your minister said, all right, no problem, 31st of December 2023, everybody getting their back pay. We almost hit on January 31st. Almost hit on January 31st. It's not healthy going into carnival, period. It's not looking healthy. I want to hear a little something. Sources also noted that thousands of officers may call in sick over the carnival weekend. You can't blame them. You can't blame them. COVID going wrong. JN1 going wrong. You never know. Officers could get sick. We have influenza. We have influenza. The sickness going wrong. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. We have 7,000 officers. Don't be surprised if 2,000 officers go to work. The rest of them get COVID. Some of them had to go for influenza shot. Some of them get the flu. Don't be surprised. As long as the government can't keep a promise to their servants, don't expect the servants to keep a promise to the government. Don't expect that. Vice versa. Now, however, in a release, Commissioner of Police Haywood Christopher has moved to assure the public that TNT Police Service is fully committed to a safe carnival after police officers raised concerns about their back pay. You see, I'm going to tell you something earlier, Christopher. Everything you ask for, you getting it as a commissioner, you know. Everything you ask for, you get it as a commissioner. But what about your officers? Are you really in line with your officers and them? You making a promise to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago that officers will be out in full for carnival and they couldn't get a back pay for Christmas? Well, you come now, man. Get real. Get real, Ola. Your own officers might go against you. COP aimed query concerned by TTPS Social and Welfare Association regarding the possibility of some police officers calling in sick for carnival duties. Here Haywood. Haywood Christopher said she understands the dissatisfaction among some officers regarding issues such as back pay, salary increase and promotion dispute. You understand that? No, I don't think you understand that, because just now you're going before the court to answer why. So you cannot say in a media briefing that you understand the dispute. Officer ain't get back pay. You understand that? No, you don't understand that. Officers not getting promotion. Do you understand that? No, you do not understand that. Hence the reason why they carry you to court. And they carry you before the commission. Hence the reason why. Because you lack understanding. You lack understanding. How you could understand the dissatisfaction that a police officer is going through when they may get no back pay when you get in your salary? You cannot understand that. You can't understand that. No way. You ain't even close to understanding that. But nevertheless, we're going for a short commercial break. When we come back, hear the Minister of Health. Save lives. Get vaccinated against influenza. Boy, this man is a real joke, yes? We're going to get some kicks from here after this break.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
When life throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward, trust Realtalk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Realtalk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Realtalk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
So welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. How long we can heat up our very own Minister of Health? How long? He has not been in the spotlight. Well, here it is. Minister of Health Saieed Ali have stated that Trinidad and Tobago will not be implementing any restrictions due to the rise in COVID-19 cases. Well, you heard that? No restrictions, eh? Alright. Speaking at a vaccine drive hosted by the Northwest Regional Health Authority at Citygate in Port of Spain to promote vaccination against the influenza virus, the minister said influenza is not the common cold. He warned that it can lead to death or hospitalization within 24 hours, along with symptoms more severe than common cold. Listen to our very own grey-haired minister, Terence Dialsing.
What we are vaccinated against is not that. We are vaccinated against influenza, which is a different type of virus, influenza A and influenza B. As opposed to the common cold, influenza can kill you. Influenza can land you in an ICU in a hospital within 24 hours. The symptoms are much more severe. They come on much more rapidly.
Let William make it. So you hear that, Trinidad and Tobago? No new restrictions. Good. To date, he noted that more than 29,500 persons have been vaccinated for this season, and said the vaccine is a seasonal vaccine, given that the virus are different. Listen to this.
This is a seasonal vaccine. That is, you get it every flu season. So the flu season runs from October of any year to May of the following year. So if you took it February 2023, and we are still in 2023, early 2024, you need to take the new vaccine because the viruses are different.
New vaccine, different viruses. The country has already recorded 1 influenza death. How many COVID that we had thus far? How many? But Anissa George prevented Dialsing from warning Trinidad and Tobago. Why did Anissa George prevent Terence Dialsing from telling our country why he didn't come out and warn us? Dialsing also added that there was a concern for the elderly population, especially to those care facilities. He appealed to visitors, owners, and operators of the care homes to start voluntarily asking persons coming in to visit the elderly to wear masks and sanitize. Listen to Dialsing.
I want to appeal to visitors and owners and operators of these elderly care homes to start to voluntarily ask people coming in to visit the elderly to wear masks, to sanitize, and for families who are going to visit, work with the care homes with their protocols. It is important to protect our elderly at this point in time.
Trinidad and Tobago, what can we do? We just need to protect ourselves from now. That's what we need to do. Protect ourselves. That is all. So, speaking on the issue of COVID-19 cases rising globally, with Trinidad and Tobago reporting a slight uptick, Minister of Health Terence Dialsing is urging the public to be cautious. He stated that there was no move on the part of the government to shut down the country or restrict movement even as the carnival season is in full swing. So Trinidad and Tobago do not expect the country to be locked down for COVID-19. Do not expect any restrictions for COVID-19. This is coming from the Health Minister, Terence Dialsing. Also, he thinks that the population is well enough to protect themselves against any virus that is circulating, and adding that shutting down the country and restricting movement is now on the cards. Listen to this.
Let us see what the numbers progress like, but shutting down the economy and restricting movement is not on the cards.
The country shutting down? No, you're not getting that. Is there any restrictions? No, you're not getting that. Because that is not on the cards of the government for Trinidad and Tobago while we have an upsurge in COVID-19. But I will tell you something. Watch out the whole thing is, when we had COVID-19 and we had to wear a mask, remember there was a penalty, a $5,000 penalty if you wear a mask? How many of you remember that? I'll come jog all your memory, I'll give all you a minute or two. Jog all your memory. $5,000 for not wearing your mask. All remember that? Now COVID, there's an upsurge in COVID-19 now. We had a 1 or 2 deaths. And you know there is no penalty for not wearing a mask now? All having discussions? All remember that, Trinidad and Tobago? Good. I want all to remember that. The minister said 272 beds were allocated for COVID-19 patients in the healthcare system. But at present, only 13 beds or less than 5% were being used. The country recently recorded 5 COVID-19 deaths. Meanwhile, with Carnival celebration underway and visitors arriving to the festival, the Alsing was confident that the present protocol in place would be sufficient to guard against the spread of the virus. He stated that in June last year, the ministry had been sourcing more vaccine, given that ones in stock are expired. The Alsing one more time.
June last year, we started to look at sourcing COVID-19 vaccines, knowing that our stock was going to expire in September. Those negotiations are ongoing and they seem promising, but I can't give you any details because I am bound by confidentiality agreements. But we are actively looking to source more vaccines.
So viewers, with COVID-19 cases on the rise, after Carnival, what do you think is going to happen? We already had 5 deaths. Carnival is next month. The death toll will be climbing. Those elderly persons will be getting more sick, I'm presuming. People is going to get COVID-19 again. Is there any shots going to be available? How is this COVID-19 different from the last COVID-19 we have for the last 2 or 3 years? How is it different? How? You tell me. You make it make sense. Because the government said we are well aware enough on how to protect ourselves. For the last 2 or 3 years, COVID-19 hit in Trinidad and Tobago, we were aware also. We were aware. But that didn't help us still. So now, I am assuming that we have to live with the COVID-19 whether we like it or not. Few beds in the hospital. And we just had to go with it on a daily basis. Now remember, this COVID-19 is no different from the one we had 2 or 3 years back, and the one that the world was facing. I just want you to understand that. So we're going for a short commercial break. But when we come back, public utilities can't charge more than the rates RIC sets after this.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com. And we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
So Trinidad and Tobago, just before I move forward with our program tonight, remember those of you who want to go into a new business, I have a beautiful wrecking truck for sale. You could do transport with it, you could do wrecking with it. It is beautiful, it is beautiful, it is beautiful. And you know the biggest platform to promote my vehicle for sale is right here on Real Talk. I mean, we buy and sell vehicle also, viewers. Like I just want to stress on this wrecker. Like I said, this wrecker, it only totes my personal Benz to go car show. Hence the reason why this wrecker looking so beautiful. Because it just don't tote any other vehicle beside my Benz. So I decided, you know what? I am upgrading wrecker. I am upgrading my wrecker, so I have this for sale. I have this for sale, viewers. The price is very, very reasonable. Once you see this wrecker, you're going to fall in love with it. The condition of the wrecker, viewers. This is what I'm talking about. So, remember, this is for sale. Also, viewers, yes, we do buy and sell vehicles here at Real Talk. Even crash vehicle also. Those of you who have US to sell currency, I am purchasing. So if you have it in the bank and you want to transfer to me, it's not a problem. If you have cash, it's not a problem. We buy in. We're not selling yet, but we buy in. So, I'm a licensed money lender. You want to make a little profit on your hard-earned cash, viewers? Contact me. I can show you. Remember, I have license to deal in money. I have license to deal in money in Trinidad and in Guyana. So the same offer I'm giving you in Trinidad and Tobago is the same offer I'm going to be offering in Guyana. Finance is my thing. So if you have money in the bank and the wait times are getting hard, you want to make an investment, not a problem. Contact me and I'll show you how you can make money. So as we go back to our live programming. I'm going to say go back to where we run there, you know. But we live, viewers. We live tonight. Dr. Michel Salandi have stated that the Regulated Industries Commission, RIC, set a maximum rate for a public utility which can then determine whether those charges can be less but cannot charge more. It was confirmed during a public accounts meeting on Wednesday while responding to a question from Chairman Dave Tanku, who wanted to know what happens after the RIC submit its report to utilities. Salani explained that RIC issues its framework and requests for a utilities business plan. When the RIC is satisfied with the final submission, it seeks the final business plan and use the revenue cap mechanism to calculate tariffs. Listen to this.
When the RIC is satisfied with their final submission, then we call that the submission of the final business plan. That is then utilized. The RIC currently uses the revenue cap mechanism, and utilizing that, the revenue requirement is calculated, etc., tariffs at the end. those tariffs are considered to be maximum tariffs. So at this point, the RIC sets the maximum rates that the utility can charge. That is determined or stated in the final determination, along with other compliance mechanisms in there, and that is then put forward to, in terms of once it's published and give life, that is put forward to the utility, who can then determine the rates and charges. But they cannot charge more than, because we set the maximum rates, but they can charge that or anything less.
Now viewers, public account, the Public Accounts Committee, right? Jolene John, she asked members about 13 times what they projected or they project on economic appraisal on the long-term capital maintenance needed for WASA, and if that was not an item RIC picks up in trying to determine a suitable rate. Listen to this.
At this point in time, because the TNTEC has been completed, that will be, completed therein, but WASA has not been completed just yet, so...
But it's ongoing, but this has not started.
So in terms of the economic appraisal of the long-term maintenance, that will require us to be looking at the capital expenditure, and at that point in time, it has not been started because it will require us to be going through the business plan, etc. So once that is in, at that point coming to completion, that project will be started and completed therein.
Right, so just for clarification, so that means that you will be doing that as part of the continuation of this item 7 price review under WASA. So you will be looking at the item 13, the economic appraisal of the long term. It will form part of your appraisal, is that correct?
Yes.
Now viewers, the reason why I am doing this is because I want you all to understand how they are going to charge you all. They are looking at the economic appraisal of long-term capital maintenance needed. So how much money does TNTEC needs to function for 6 months? What is the economical appraisal? How is the economic growing? Can we increase or can we not increase? How much does it cost the company to maintain itself for 6 months? WASA and TNTEC. So listen to this now. RIC Chairman Don Calendar stated that in order to have an enforcement policy framework standardized, it must be gazetted, and there are several things TNTEC must provide annually, which will also be done in WASA's case. Listen to this.
So in order to have the compliance framework, one must have the standards gazetted and taken effect. I think just one clarification, the submission that we did in December 2023 was actually a fine-tuning of submissions that had been made prior. So in the case of TNTEC, where those standards have been gazetted and accepted, there are a number of reports that TNTEC must produce to the RIC annually, things like their codes of practice, certain some of the provisions in the standards that were gazetted, what percentage compliance they have achieved, and so that is done annually in the case of TNTEC and would be done in the case of WASA once the standards actually are gazetted, in which case they then become effective for WASA's compliance.
So Triantibek, I hope you understand that. I hope you understand that. Now, while they have the while they have been submitted for gazetting, it is not going to be published officially. I want you all to understand that. There's a process. So hopefully, maybe in a couple of months to come, you will find out how much more you are going to pay. Let's just hope it takes years. So we will have to deal with that. Let's just hope it takes some years. Big bacchanal again, money owes. Government never have money. The Vehicular Management Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago, VCOT, you know, they fix police vehicles in Trinidad and Tobago. They are the company that have the contract. Now, is owed 37.4 million by various creditors from 2012 to present. And its creditors 8.6 million occurred from 2015 to present. Chairman of VCOT, Neil Bennett, a retired man, said, when the current board came in 2016, it was challenging time for the company. He stated that they could not engage in monies collected for debit owed to VCOT, and the receivables were in excess of $30 million. Bennett said the issues of litigations was raised by private sector suppliers. I'll listen to this.
With regard to the inability to satisfy the requirement for the audited accounts, the challenge that was met by my board was one where, when we assumed office in 2016, it was rather a challenging time with VCOT, not being able to engage in monies collected from debts owed to VCOT. So the receivables were in excess of 30 million. Additionally, VCOT then, and prior to 2016, had a situation where they were taking parts from a number of suppliers and were heavily indebted to these suppliers. And one of the things that came about was a question of litigation by the private sector, who in fact was supplying the parts, where it is abundantly necessary for VCOT to do the work that they are designed to do.
Bennett said, VCOT has embarked on a program where the financing department is calling and writing its debtor monthly to receive its receivable, or to recover its receivable. He noted that the debit was kept alive and continued to be collected. TTPS has owed money as far back as 2004. In addition, the Ministry of Works and Transport have been the mediator in collecting for a debit owed by PTSC of $6.5 million. Listen to this.
In one instance, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has owed VCOT monies from inception, from as far back as 2004. And we are conducting an exercise right now. We have received some payments from them, and we are still pursuing the collection of that outstanding amount. In addition, within recent time, the Ministry of Works and Transport has been the mediator in resolving a debt owed to VCOT by the Public Transport Service Corporation, where we collected in excess of $6 million, I think it was $6.5 million, of course, which was utilized to reduce the monies that we owe to our debtors.
So Trinidad and Tobago, TTPS owes far as 2004. Government come, government go, and they can't pay for fixing police vehicle. How much money did the government not the government. How much money did the Prime Minister say he's going to allocate for crime? How much? I can't hear earlier. They owed $6.4 million. TTPS owed VCOT $6.4 million. Am I correct? No Trinidadians. They don't owe $6.4 million. PTSC owes $6.5 million. How much money is the government allocating to fight crime, but they can't pay off their debt? TTPS owed as far back as 2004. 2004, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service owes VCOT money and can't pay them. PTSC owes $6.5 million and can't pay them. But I want you to listen to this video from me. Listen to this video.
I will instruct the Minister of Finance to identify immediately $100 million to go inside those communities and do what is not being done, because criminals in there have taken control of those streets and those houses and are making it difficult for government services to go in there and give some people an opportunity for a decent life.
$100 million. The Prime Minister have instructed Colin Imbu to get for Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force officers to go into community. Some old retired Defense Force officers they want to bring back in the force. Some fry brain heads. To go into community that they already know where the drug man is, who doing the prostitution, who selling cocaine. They want to give these same army officials who was there before and couldn't fix it. They want to rehire them and send them back to fix what? No, that's not the issue. He have instructed Colin Imbu to find $100 million to waste behind some fry egg brains man. Right? To waste. But they can't find money to give to PTSC to pay VCOT $6.5 million that the bus company owe. They cannot find money to give to TTPS to pay VCOT far as back as 2004. But they go find $100 million to give some retired army officials who know all the drugs men and all the drugs block in Trinidad and Tobago. They want to rehire these men and them to go back in communities to fix it. Open all your mouth now, Trinidad and Tobago. Now it's time. All those who bashing Saieed, but you're bashing the government, now is the time to open your mouth. Let's say something. You know why we are in a police vehicle? Working proper? Because they have no money to fix vehicles. They have none. Why we don't have proper working buses? Because they don't have money to fix the buses and them. But they could allocate $100 million to waste in communities in Trinidad and Tobago. The retired army officials already know who's the drug man. They couldn't fix the problem while they were in office. You think when they retire and you bring them back now, they go fix the problem? Common sense was made before books, Trinidadian. So we're going for a short commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to hear Kamala gives law enforcement officers FULs to get guns. After this.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
When life throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back, viewers. Opposition leader Kamala Prasad-Bisesa has called on the government to immediately act to provide FULs and personal legal firearms to all law enforcement officers. In a media release, Prasad-Bisesa said, "These brave men and women can rest assured that if no action is taken by this government, the UNC will move without delay to provide said license and firearm upon our return to government." This is what Prasad-Bisesa is saying to police officers in Trinidad and Tobago. So I just want to ask Fitzgerald Hines something. If a police individual now come into the police force, normally you would give them a gun once they put on the uniform. Am I correct, Trinidad and Tobago? You would give them a gun to put to the side of their waist when they are newcomers to TTPS. It is fit to give them a gun while they are on duty, but it is not fit to give them a gun when they are off duty. Are they not the same person? I'm asking Fitzgerald Hines this. Are they not the same person that wearing the uniform? Or they could go home and if it have a dispute, they could shoot their wife and they could shoot up the neighbor and they could shoot their brother. What is preventing that when they put on that firearm while they sign for duty? I want to ask Fitzgerald Hines a question. What is preventing that from happening when they sign up for duty and their gun is in their possession? Common sense was made before book. I want that to go to Fitzgerald Hines. She said murders of prison and police officers have occurred regularly over the past years, and there have been numerous reports of threat to law enforcement officers, with some acted upon. She quoted Prison Officer Association of Trinidad and Tobago General Secretary Lester Logie, who said all new enforcement officers, once they meet the criteria and have been properly vetted, should be issued a FUL certificate so they could purchase firearms to protect the lives of themselves and their family I'll tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. When you become a prison officer or a law enforcement officer in Trinidad and Tobago, automatically you become a target. I want to let you understand that. The uniform that you put on, you put it on to work 6 or 12 hours for the day. But you know, when you take off that uniform, you are the same individual that sits in your vehicle that go back home. And this is what Fitzgerald Hines is not getting. When you are in uniform and you run down a bandit with a firearm on your waist that was issued by TTPS, and you shoot after this bandit. Good? You didn't catch him, you shoot after him, but you missed, you didn't catch him. Now, when you sign off your book for the afternoon to come off your shift, you are going home without a firearm. So let's just say this bandit decides to backtrack on you now. What is going to happen when you're not in uniform and you don't have a firearm to protect yourself? What is going to happen? Ask Fitzgerald Hines a question and hear what he has to say. So the police officers we have in Trinidad and Tobago, they become part-time officers. You know why am I saying that? They are protecting themselves when they're on duty because they have a firearm. And from the time they had a sign off duty, they have no protection because they don't have no firearm. What about police back pay? What about police back pay? Head of the Security Council, who is also the Prime Minister for Trinidad and Tobago, yapping his mouth how much money you want Clungenberg to allocate. But all you can't deal with protective service properly. All you can't. 100 million to go in communities for some retired Defense Force officers to spend. But all you can't pay VCOT so they could fix vehicles, so vehicles will be properly working. So when they call the station, they actually have a vehicle to respond. They actually have a vehicle to respond. So viewers, you are viewing Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Remember viewers, we are live on Monday to Friday. We are on from Monday to Friday. The #1 current affairs program. I don't want to boast about that. We already hold that position. So, time is out. We have to come to an end for tonight. But nevertheless, there's a rerun of this program tomorrow from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And we'll be right back here. It's Friday tomorrow night. Friday. So we have our cookout tomorrow night. Saeed's Backyard Cookout. Remember that, viewers. It's on tomorrow night. Until we meet again, good night.